So, Kay, the Commonwealth Centers for High Performance Organizations are an integral part of our Center for Management Strategies family of service providers, and CCHPO focuses on really the development of the individual, the development of the organization to be better equipped to handle some of the challenges that local governments are faced with today. So could you tell us a little bit about the high performance organization strategies and how they can help an organization in becoming more efficient and effective?
I'll be glad to. Thank you, Cheryl. CCHPO began with an academic background. We wanted to be well rooted in the research for what high performance meant in organizations. So we looked at the very best of the best, both in private and public sectors, and determined those characteristics that divided the somewhat mediocre organizations from the best. And from that, we created a model that we like to use. It's a holistic model, it's a systems model. It certainly shows the elements that comprise what we consider to be high performance. Now we take that academic bent that we have and we actually translate it and operationalize it, yes, into what organizations can actually use to improve performance. It involves engagement, which is certainly a watchword today. It involves engagement of staffs, engagement at all levels of the organization to do the work of leadership and the work of management, as well as the excellent technical work that local agencies do, local government does. So it's a holistic type of work approach, and we certainly have shown results in getting the best from at all areas of the organization to pull in the same direction toward a common vision with common values. It really gets the synergy of the organization concept, and we find that performance, we actually have some data that shows that performance is much improved using this model.
And Kay, a lot of us in local government do some of the vision work pretty well.
Yes.
You know, we tend to do strategic planning, and I think we probably could drive it down in the organization a little bit more. But one of the aspects of the HPO model that I think is really important for organizations is the culture work, or working on the values and creating a positive work culture. Can you talk just a little bit about that work?
Certainly, thank you. Values is something that most organizations have thought something about. As a matter of fact, when we go into organizations, we often find the values might actually be up on the wall. Certain words that incorporate our values. What we often find is that even though they're up on the wall and we think we may have had conversations about those values, that there's often a misunderstanding about what we really mean. And so we find that it's very important to have conversations within the entire organization of what those values mean for us, and get intact work groups to get together and talk about what those values are and actually identify behaviors. Now, I might look at you and not really understand what's going on inside you, what those values that you espouse are. But if I observe you, I can certainly observe your behaviors. And from that, I can have a much better understanding of what values you espouse and the organization espouse. So we certainly encourage and insist that organizations not only identify their values, but identify the associated behaviors. We even encourage organizations to provide feedback loops about those behaviors, to give managers and everyone in the organization feedback.
Great. And there are a number of organizations out there that are doing this kind of work, and it is some sustained work that has to take place over time to really get a lot of traction in terms of creating a new culture, but even small steps moving forward can help to improve performance in an organization. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Most organizations hope that transformational change takes place in 3 or 4 months. And actually you as a longtime manager understand that that's not true. But it's important to take that action to begin, as you just implied, and to begin those steps. And over time, it builds traction, it builds community, it builds a sustainable way of operating.
Right.
But you're right, it does take time.
It does take some time, but you can't move forward without taking that first step. So, well, we're really happy at the Center for Management Strategies to have the Commonwealth Centers for High Performance Organization as a part of our lineup with leading and trending practices. So thank you for helping to make local governments a little more efficient and effective.
Thank you. We're thrilled to have joined you.
Thank you.